Cherokee 05 Whiskey departing to the west, Fairfield County.
Daniel, traffic set to 76 Echo, turning left downwind runway 23 at Daniel. Okay.
Use the routine every time.
Full rich, RP's on, seatbelts are on.
You use that routine every time, you're less likely to make a mistake. Alright, just relax. All you're going to do is fly the airplane, okay? This time we'll reduce the power to idle stop, and then we'll pitch the airplane for an airspeed of 65 knots, and then you'll have to make a judgment about gliding to the runway. So you'll just have to turn your head and look, and...
Alright, head back now.
Back to idle stop. Just hold the nose up, let the airspeed come down to 65, and then you'll have to pitch it and trim it for 65 knots. Then look at the runway. Remember, you got to make it to the runway. You can't do this big pattern. So you better turn toward that runway right now.
Daniel, traffic sets to turning base for runway 23 at Daniel.
So just keep your eye, turn your head every so often, look at the runway. Now you want 65 knots. You don't want that much. How do you get airspeed to slow down? Let the airplane glide at 65 and then judge flap settings and profile, okay? That's all you have to do. I mean, it's a different type of approach is all it is. But you want that airspeed to be targeted right there at 65 constantly. If you want to change profile, it's extending the flaps.
Daniel, traffic sets on final for runway 23.
Airspeed at 65 now. And profile. Okay, now if you got a short field, see, because you're not using your flaps, you'd fly right over top of it and crash into the trees. You see what I'm teaching you here?
Yes, sir.
You got to stay focused on a spot. You got to go to that spot on the ground. All right, very good. Really went pretty good. So just fly the airplane, land it. All you're going to do, stay over the center line, land the airplane. All right, good job. You're a little bit off center line, but
yeah.
Take your weight off your nose wheel now. Pull it all the way back. All right, you see there?
Yes, sir. All down. Cessna 76 Echo, downwind runway 29er at Daniel.
All right, do your pre-landing items. In the order they're supposed to be done in every time.
On both. Full rich. RP. Seatbelts are on.
Flying the airplane. See, you lost 150 feet because you were looking down. Don't turn.
I know.
Fairfield County traffic, Cherokee 05.
And Daniel, traffic 8 for Whiskey rolling 23 for the right turn out to the north. Hey, got Daniel, traffic in sight.
All right, we want to come back to idle stop when you get ready to start the approach. Now, you've been constantly flying away from the runway. I just want to remind you that the objective here is 65 knots, and let's get to the runway. So you ought to look and see where the runway is.
I did.
So get the airplane established at 65 knots and trim it, so if you take your hand off the wheel, it'll stay there. Set the trim for 65 knots. Don't. I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Airspeed is very crucial and stuff like this, and turning toward the runway.
Daniel, traffic King 3184 Whiskey's in the right turn off of 23 to the north, leaving the pattern. Daniel.
Daniel, traffic set to 76 Echo, entering final for runway 29er at Daniel.
65 knots is the airspeed. 31. 65 knots. Barely made it. Fly the airplane. No use to do anything with flaps. We just barely made the landing area. It's all right. Just keep doing it. You're doing good. Just keep flying the airplane. Stay on the center line. But what you learn from that is you get this big wide pattern and you get that airspeed fast. What happens? You lose all that altitude trying to get to the runway, okay?